This weekend is 4th of July weekend, and to celebrate the weekend, we are, Heart of America / John Ames is hosting a race out in Moberly, Missouri? I always want to say Montana because the Missouri state abbreviation is MO, so MO just looks like Montana to me, anyway, that's neither here nor there. But what I realized a minute ago is that I haven't flown a 6S 5-inch racing drone since like November. I actually just did my first couple just practice batteries here in the yard to make sure that these drones were even working, which they are, which is great. I did a little bit of work on them just now. And so now I'm charging up all my batteries. This is the giant skateboard battery, which I'm going to use for field charging, some 6 cells, another big 6 cell, more 6 cells, giant field charging battery, another giant field charging battery, and then I'm going to put this on the skateboard for drone retrieval. So I'm just sitting here babysitting this charger because there's so much being charged all at the same time. It's a little bit scary. And as soon as that's done, we're going to go out, get into the field, set up a track, and start flying. So right now I'm going to load up the car while this is still charging. Alright, I think we've officially got everything packed. So much stuff. I'm gonna fill up the cooler and get to some practice. Alright, we're here, and the next step is to build the course. It's always the worst part. Alright, track's all built. It's finally time to fly. Usually when I design a track, I'm starting out with like some specific elements that I need to practice, like I need to do this kind of split S, or I need to do this kind of ladder, or whatever the element is that I would normally be practicing. I just set that up and then kind of build a track around that. Today, I didn't have like a specific element that I needed to practice. Instead, I'm more like just getting comfortable back on the sticks because it's been so long since I've flown. So I just built kind of a track that has a little bit of everything. There's a ladder, there's a carousel, sorta, there's some switchbacks, some split S's, some corkscrews, like all sorts of different things, and there's a little bit of speed in the course involved. So really the goal is I just need to get as comfortable as I can on the sticks before essentially tomorrow, so tonight, and I just built a track that kind of can support that. I didn't exactly pick out a line for the course while I was out there. Instead, what I did is I just set the gates up in those kinds of elements. In my first couple batteries, I'll spend just deciding what that line is going to be before I start flying it. That way I don't have to spend so much time just thinking about it. I can get to flying and just kind of feel out exactly what's going to work before I even bother having to deal with changing things around or whatever. I'm just going to pick the course line after I built the course. I know it's kind of weird, but it saves me some time usually. Blown a few batteries now, so it's time to start charging. So I take my balance cable or my multi-cable for charging up the skateboard batteries. And I just plug everything back into it, and then I can plug this whole thing right into my charging case. So now I've got 220 amp hours and then 420, so 60 amp hours at 6 cell. And it just plugs right into the XT60 back here. And boom, now we've got power. We can charge all day. And that's another crash. So typically when I train, I bring a timer and like an actual immersion RC hockey puck timing system so that I can make sure I know that I'm always improving. But again, with today, it's all about just getting comfortable being back on the sticks, which I am definitely not. I'm having a pretty rough go of it, if I'm honest. But so yeah, I'm not too worried about, you know, getting like better and better lap times every single time. It's just about refamiliarization, getting comfortable flying again after not having really flown racing quads in a very long time. But so yeah, that's just another thing that I almost always have when I am training, is that if you time every lap, you know for sure that you are actually improving lap after lap and not just spending time, you know, not getting any better. Man, that's a great quad recovery tool right there. Well, I'm out here doing a bunch of 5-inch training. I've also got to do some tiny trainer training. I haven't hardly flown this at all on a track, so I got to send it on this and get used to how this thing flies so that I can race it in a spec race for tiny trainers at the race. That's a lot of races. Let's get to it. Yeah, I definitely require some more tiny trainer training. It it does not have as much get up and go as the 5-inch, that's for sure. So like I'm constantly like almost hitting the ground and trying to back up and not crash. But it's gonna be so fun to have 3 of those all at the same time flying, or like a whole race heat of them, because it's like just the right speed where you have to fly with momentum, like you have to pick your spots carefully, but it's also fast enough that you get some really good racing. So I think it's going to be an awesome spec race. Hey little guy, I forgot to install the turtle sticks, so I can't do turtle mode until I do that. I'll make sure I have those on for the race, but right now I just don't have them. Well, I started the night with 3 quads, officially killed 3 now, so I think that's a good place to call it. I've just been getting kind of frustrated with myself, like crashing every single, like I've landed twice, like intentionally landed twice in the last hour, which is not fun. But you know, it is what it is. We got as much practice in as we could. Didn't spend enough time on the tiny trainer, but I was having, it just wasn't worth risking the thing that I don't have many parts for. So I've got to fix both drones, no, all 3 drones tonight. 2 of them should be pretty quick. One's going to be a little bit more of a pain. Because yeah, we leave for Moberly in the morning. So thanks for hanging out for a practice session. You know, you win some, you lose some. And we'll see you tomorrow on the road to Moberly.